And just 1, 2, 3, 4. We just have to be a little bit patient while it comes up on the screen and make sure that it's all right. It takes longer than you think when you start to look at it.
Well, it's this mass of the public that want to see it.
Right, we're ready to start.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. We'll do introductions first. My name's Adrian Hutton, councillor, and I'm chairing this panel today. Can I ask the other panel members to introduce themselves, please? Graham, you're on mute.
I'm Councillor Danny Scott.
Graham Baker, councillor.
Okay. Can the officers please introduce themselves, please?
I'm Sharon Davis from Legal Services.
And I'm Lennox Beattie from Democratic Governance, here to take the notes of the hearing.
Right. And we've also got Kerry Burrows from Public Health, Guy Harrison from Lancashire Constabulary, and Louise Scales from Child Protection Licensing. Okay. So this is a hearing to determine a licensing application for the Sherborne convenience store, 80 Sherborne Road. Right. We've agreed that each party will have 10 minutes to present their case, bearing in mind that we have read all of the reports. And although you've got 10 minutes, there is absolutely no need to take 10 minutes if you don't need to. Okay. So it would be normally the applicant that would be going first, but I understand from our officers that the applicant has decided not to attend today and has said that he believes that there's enough information in his application that he doesn't need to attend. So I'm going to go. Sorry,
Chair,
Sharon.
Can I just mention the fact that Lee Petrak from Licensing has made a written representation. He is trying to join the meeting, but has got some technical difficulties. So if he doesn't manage to join, he will wish you to take into consideration his written representations, but he may hopefully arrive at some stage during the proceedings.
Okay, then. Right. With that, and as the applicant isn't here, we can't ask him any questions. We can't do what we normally do and go through it. So I'm just going to ask the objectors to state their case, and then we'll take it under consideration. Right, I'm going to start off with Kerry Burrows first, please.
Thank you. Just from us, nothing really to add other than to say we feel we've got justifiable concerns that if an alcohol licence is granted to these premises, it'll increase the availability of alcohol in an area which was already experiencing significant levels of alcohol-related harm. And it's difficult to see how the granting of this application wouldn't add to the cumulative impact area already experienced in this area. Everything else is in the submission already. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. We have Guy Harrison from Lancashire Constabulary. Would you like to say anything extra?
Thank you very much. Yes. Good morning. Obviously, my representation has been made. I would just say further to it that having worked up here for 19 years now in the police, I spent 4 of those on the Claremont ward, and I know about the deprivation firsthand, the criminality. There's nothing in this application at all that I see that would lend itself to being considered as any different from any other off license in the area. There are many of them already. The saturation or the cumulative impact area is at the first and foremost of my thoughts with this, and I don't believe that it would contribute or help the residents of the area to have yet another off license there when there's so many within walking distance of the proposed site. So that's really about as much as I need to say on top of my application.
Right, thank you for that. We then come on to Louise Scales from Child Protection.
Good morning. Not really a lot to add really, apart to reiterate that the Sherborne convenience store is in Claremont ward, which already has 22 off licences and comes within the community of impact area. From the application, it doesn't seem to be offering anything unique or specialist So it's yet just another off licence in an area that's already saturated. And I don't see how it can not add to the existing problems. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask the councillors, do you have any questions to any of the officers that have spoken this morning? Councillor Scott?
I think the documents speak for themselves. My question would be: Do we believe that 12.3% of all licensed premises in Blackpool is actually in this area? What limit do we put on each area to have licensed premises up and working with a history of violence and antisocial behaviour that goes with it? That would be my question.
I'm not sure. Sharon, are you able to answer that, or is it?
I don't think we can put a specific number of premises in a particular ward that meets saturation. I think it's just something that you note. Obviously, the higher the concentration of licensed premises, the more problems that are likely to be caused just by the concentration of them being there, rather than individuals. But I don't think you could really set a particular percentage at which time you say an area is saturated. I think it's just a factor you take into as part of your consideration of the application as a whole.
I think when you look at the details that we have with the number of licenses in certain areas, it's obvious where all the problems are going to be. Yeah, sorry, Sean, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to sort of add that obviously you've made a cumulative impact statement in relation to this particular ward, saying that they're obviously recognising there are problems, and that creates a rebuttable presumption that you will refuse applications. So it's a matter for you to determine on what you've heard whether the applicant has given you sufficient information to rebut the presumption of refusal.
Okay.
Chairman, just as a quick update, Mr. Petrak's joined the meeting now, so I don't know if you want to invite him to make representations at this point. I know we were interrupting your questions.
Okay. Mr. Petrak, do you want to add anything to your written statement now that you've joined us?
Just an apology on behalf of my failing ICT. I'm going to blame the equipment. It wasn't my fault. If you've read my representations, I'm not going to propose to go into them in any more detail, bearing in mind the applicant isn't here. I was only proposing to read from them anyway.
Okay, right. Councillor Baker, do you have any questions to the officers?
Welcome, Lee. It's actually, perhaps you can answer this. I'm looking at the licensing objectives in his application and under the various headings of general prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, prevention of public nuisance, and the protection of children from harm. There's quite a lot of stuff in there that is saying he'll put in place. Is there anything in what he's put there that's over and above what you would normally expect for this type of licensed premises?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, it's going to be short and sweet by the sound of it. Does anybody else want to say anything at all? I don't believe in protracting these hearings if we can avoid it. If there's nothing further, then could we ask all of the officers and the various constabulary and public health and child protection and licensing authority to sign out? We will discuss it and come to a decision, and everybody will be notified within 5 working days. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you very much. I'm sorry.